Deep inside the ancient book of Proverbs, there's this puzzle. It's a contradiction so glaring it has had people scratching their heads for centuries. I mean, some people even wondered if the book should be in the Bible at all because of it. And it's all about how to deal with one of life's most, let's say, challenging personalities, the fool.
So what do you do? I mean, really, when you're faced with someone just spouting total nonsense, do you step in and say something, or do you just turn around and walk away? Well, the book of Proverbs gives us advice on this. Two pieces of advice, actually, and they're the exact opposite of each other, and they're sitting right next to each other.
Okay, listen to this. Verse 4 says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him." Makes sense, right? Don't get down in the mud. But then the very next verse says, "Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes." So which one is it? Is this just a huge mistake? Like, did some ancient editor have a bad day with the copy and paste? Well, the real answer is actually way more clever than you might think.
To crack this puzzle, we first have to get our tools straight. We need to ask a really basic question. What even is a proverb? Because, trust me, getting this right changes absolutely everything.
See, here's the thing. A proverb isn't like a universal law of physics that works every single time, no matter what. It's better to think of it as a short, salty generalization. It's a little nugget of wisdom that's tailor-made for a specific situation. It's like a compass pointing you in a general direction, not a full GPS route for your entire life.
And this really gets to the heart of it. A proverb is not a promise. You know that famous one, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it? That's an incredibly powerful principle, a great goal, but it's not a money-back guarantee. Life's just way too messy and complicated for that.
Okay, so if Proverbs are all about this situation, what about how they're arranged in the book? Well, turns out it's not random at all. The ancient editors who put this book together were like artists, and they intentionally put certain proverbs in pairs to create a whole new level of meaning.
And this wasn't some rare, quirky thing they did once or twice. In the main, central part of the book of Proverbs, a full 21%, that's more than 1/5 of them, are deliberately set up in pairs. That's a huge signal from the editor, basically screaming at us, hey, read these two together.
So when you see two proverbs back to back like this, they start a conversation with each other. They create this tension, and they force you, the reader, to jump into the middle and wrestle with it. It's not about just picking the right one, it's about the mental exercise of figuring out how both can be true at the same time.
And get this technique isn't some weird, isolated thing. It's a universal trick for teaching wisdom. You find it in cultures all over the world, from thousands of years ago in ancient Sumeria all the way to things we say in English today.
I mean, think about it. We do this all the time. We tell someone, look before you leap. Solid advice. But then we also say, he who hesitates is lost. One says be careful, the other says hurry up. Both are totally true, but only in the right situation.
Or how about this one? Is working together a good thing? Well, yeah. Many hands make light work. But can it go wrong? Oh, absolutely. Too many cooks spoil the broth. See, the real wisdom isn't just knowing the proverbs, it's knowing which one fits the moment.
And my absolute favorite, my daughter told me this one. She said that, yeah, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. It's just a funny little reminder that there's almost always another way to look at things, another angle to the story.
All right, so now that we get how proverbs work, and especially how these pairs work, let's go back to our original problem with the fool. The key to unlocking this whole thing has been hiding in plain sight, in two tiny little words. Let's look at those verses one more time. But this time, pay really close attention to the reason given at the end of each one. Verse 4, the don't answer one, warns, lest you be like him. The focus is on protecting you. But verse 5, the do answer one, warns, lest he be wise in his own eyes. And just like that, the focus completely shifts to the fool.
Do you see it? These aren't just two contradictory commands. They are two different strategies for two totally different situations with two different goals. Verse 4 is about self-preservation. Its goal is to protect you. Don't get in a stupid argument that just drags you down to their level. But verse 5, its goal is to correct the fool. Sometimes you have to speak up to shut down their arrogance for their own good or for the sake of everyone else listening.
So what looks like a contradiction is actually a brilliant diagnostic tool. It forces you to pause and ask yourself a question. Okay, what's my goal here? Is it to protect my own peace and integrity? Then don't answer. Or is it to challenge the fool's arrogance before it does more damage? Then you answer. The whole key is assessing the situation.
So what's the big lesson here? What's the takeaway? Well, this little paradox actually teaches us something incredibly profound about what wisdom even is. It's not a simple formula. It's not a checklist.
A scholar named Peter Hatton put it perfectly. He said these are not imperfections, but part of a subtle and profound strategy to awaken critical faculties in the readers. They aren't bugs, they're a feature. They're designed specifically to make you think.
And that's really the point of all of this. The goal isn't just to memorize a bunch of rules. It's to wrestle with the tension between different ideas, to debate them, to try to apply them, and in that whole process, to develop the real wisdom we all need to get by in this messy, complicated, and often contradictory world.
So that leaves us with one last question to chew on. The next time you run into two ideas that seem to be in total opposition, whether it's in an old book, a political argument, or just advice from two different friends, what if you stopped and asked yourself, what if this isn't just a mistake? What if this is actually an invitation to think deeper and find real wisdom?